All right, welcome to my Apex Buddies, the podcast. And yes, I'm talking low. It's late here and the people have gone to bed. And I apologize, but these are some good articles that I don't want to get overlooked. I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be a heavy news day as well. So, quiet your environment, turn up your volume. If you don't normally use earbuds or ear the wired ones, maybe try doing that. Sorry, okay? Yeah. Eventually I will live by myself again, but right now I don't. So I have to be respectful. All right. So today was Monday for 2 more minutes. It's Monday, July 28th. So this is going to update. You'll see this July 29th, but it's covering news from July 28th. Also, I did this earlier in the day. This is a short, well, it was 18 minutes, but this is very good information. Oh no, I didn't put the video there. I did. It's just not showing. But the video, there's a video that I did just on these two articles. And you should watch that. You should share it with people who are humdrum, down in the dumps. That may lift them. All right? And I will, at the end of this video, a link to that video will pop up. So watch it all the way. Yeah. All right. Nothing but good news today. Nothing but good news today. And look at this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Halabja is it's the newest governance. There used to be 18. All this time that I've been in this, and then 2 months ago, they made Halabja a formal governance. And now she's like, yes, thank you. I will take my own CBI branches. For those of you who don't know, this is the governor, and she's a female. First female governor in Iraq ever. And look, she's got a ball of candy. That is my kind of woman. She's got a ball of candy on her desk. But yeah, so I came across that today, and remember Stephen Bittner, our U.S. consul guy, he just visited her yesterday. So I'm like, what's the deal with this Halabja place? I never heard of it before, so I'm gonna try to do some research and see what resources it has. And I mean, they're talking about opening branches, not just one branch, but a number of bank branches in Halabja. That's my phone. Yeah, my phone goes off all hours of the night. Text messages, I don't mind. Don't call me though. So yeah, and they want to um, support local economy and facilitate citizens' access to electronic banking services. And I'm curious, why is it CBI branches and not Ramadan Bank or something else? So yeah, but okay, this is good also. Sadani reveals Iraq thwarted aggression against ice cream land. I almost said it. And U.S. bases. And he refuses to negotiate with somebody's kidnappers. I don't know what that means, but if you read this, he really says some good things. But the thing is, it emphasizes there's articles out today where he again stands strong with the AZA, the four-letter country, right? And against ice cream land. All right. So let's see. Yeah, so I won't have time to go over that, but it's almost in bullet form. And here they're talking about the Popular Mobilization Forces Law. And they did, remember yesterday I said they did something? I think it's this one. Nope. Nope. Public fury. So this is the public. These are the people. They're upset. I don't know exactly what happened. Remember I said I don't know what happened, but something happened between those forces and the approved forces. And some people may not be living now since that. Oh, here, say that. Iraq police clash with PMF fighters who stormed government building. So there were two incidents, and I know for a fact in one of them, two people are no longer breathing. And so that's another issue that Marco Rubio had to make a call and say, dude, what are you doing? What's going on? So, all right, I just wanted to show you that because I sometimes I like to just do a quick this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, but I also like to back it up also. All right, look at this. I did not know this. Oh, the picture is gone. Well, pause. Okay, you have to see this. Who is this? This is Maliki. Who is this? This is Atwana Twani, the new governor of Baghdad. I had no idea. He is in Maliki's party. The state coalition law, yes. So Maliki has as one of his people the governor of Baghdad. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. I did not know that that man was part of his group. But see, there, and that's what keeps people say, well, how is Maliki still in government? He is the leader of the State of Law Coalition. And as long as they keep voting him back in as their leader, he'll have amnesty, he'll have protection, he'll be some state heads from other countries come meet with him. So, yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Here, they're still talking about this gold. But that title is kind of deceptive. It says it's purchasing more than 20 tons of gold, but it says in a single year. We know they have way more gold than that, right? But they do have enough gold if they need to go gold back. But the whole world, all the countries of the world are not positioned to go gold back. And it's who's gonna trade with one country that's gold back and another one that's not gold back. See, that's why I don't believe that argument. Now asset backed I could see, but straight gold backed. But the trend of buying all this gold does what? Positively impacts the value of the Iraqi dinar in the medium term. So it's just interesting that during this time when we're thinking the rate's going to change, right? We're hoping. They keep talking about gold. And then here's Samir al-Nasari. He wrote another article. The Comprehensive Economic Reform Program comes first in the upcoming elections. So you don't think Sadani doesn't want the rate change? You don't think he's not trying to work as hard as he can with us to get the rate change? So I know if you are on, where some people are expecting some things tomorrow, but if it doesn't happen, I'll still be following the articles like I do. And so yeah, he says that whoever can, they're going to be bragging about, look what we did with the banks. We brought you banking reform. We brought you economic inclusion, financial inclusion. And so, yes, you could read that. And look, it's short. For once, he did a really short article. All right. And so today was the court date for the salary disputes, but it got thrown out because why? Because they paid the salaries, the May salaries, right? And they claimed to have an agreement for June and July. But I'll show you that there's a possible, well, if you listen to last night's or yesterday's update, what did it say? Oh yeah, we're all ready to pay the June and July salaries unless there's an emergency. So they already gave themselves a way out, right? But here's a financial expert saying the absence of final accounts opens the door to corruption. So he is one that they quote a lot. But any other case, okay, we know there's corruption, right? But there's also corruption in Parliament. So I believe, and others too, but I believe Sudani is holding off every possible detail to the possible last minute to keep these budget schedules away from us, right? Because we're watching too, but from Parliament so they can't manipulate them or leak them out, right? There's two things they could do. They could try to manipulate or they could leak them out. So, and he's not in Parliament, so he wouldn't understand that, right? All right. So this is a summary of the article that I did in the short. This post here, it has 10. The 10 points are broken out, and I explain what's different about this than any other time before. And this is a summary. But you want to go watch that video. You really do. It will make you happy. I believe that was my goal. I was trying to make people understand we are in a place we've never been before, especially with the parallel market. All right. Here's another article. Who cares about them, right? And securing the salaries. Okay, this was one I definitely wanted to cover. It's a source. It's a anonymous source, but hey, it's a different way of life in Iraq, right? And they're saying the region has not delivered a single liter of oil to Somo. And they even go so far as to say there's false media statements currently being broadcast that oil's flowing and there's imminent disbursement of June salaries. There's the possibility of the imminent disbursement, right? So the source stressed that leaving Iraqi citizens to suffer from hunger and delaying salaries due to the narrow interests of some parties or companies is a blatant disregard for the national interests, and those responsible must be held accountable without delay. So I believe this person is sincere because we don't know who that person is, right? So whoever made those statements, I believe they really care about the citizens because we don't know who they are. And so they can't get credit for making those statements, right? All right, here's my one commercial for myself. My Epics buddies, these are all the ways you can support me. When this is a live link, when this is a live blog, this Buy Me a Coffee will be a live link. Cash App is always live. And my Cash App, for those who are just listening, is $, all lowercase letters, Tishwash. T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, W, A, S as in Sam, H. I got 2 gifts of support today. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And then there's PayPal. And I'm Tishwash at PayPal. All right. Now, okay, let me calm down. I was happy to see, well, not this, but so Iraq has a strong presence in New York. Fawad Hussein participates in a high-level international meeting in support of Pizza Land, right? That was interesting. I watched them and Brazil. Brazil was there. Portuguese is such a weird language. Um, anyway, so that happened and that's wonderful. Yay, right? Bilateral meeting with China. Iraq seeks to strengthen its relation with its neighbors, especially Kuwait. I don't know why they're talking about Kuwait and China in the same article, but look at them. There they are. They're looking at stuff, taking notes. So, why couldn't they have had a side meeting with the U.S. Treasury, right? I'm still not giving up on that. But yeah, so they took care of business, what they were there for, and this is just one meeting that they're telling us about. They may have had more meetings because, well, not the whole world, but a lot of the world is at this conference. Yeah, because it's a serious situation. All right, let's see. So here's two people complaining about how we use things as blackmail. So I put them back to back together. So this is a member of parliament. That's his name, Rafiq Salihi. And then here's an economist, Rashid Saadi. Remember? Yeah, we talked about him last week, I think. All right. This is, well, he's the national security advisor. So he was sent, and they very rarely put this out, but it says very specifically Sudani sent him to Erbil to deal with the topic, which was the phone scones microphone. I forget the three original words I used, but take any of those words and put a DR in front of them, and you know what I'm talking about. So those aggression, and I think they also talked about the oil, but they in another article that I just don't have time to post, they gave them their files. The Kurds gave Arachi the files so they know at least who they think. Remember, they said they have names. They know, they were made in another country. So whatever information they have, they're claiming, right? Because who knows if they're telling the truth or not. But we have to go with what the articles say, right? That's what we have to do. So yeah, so they're cooperating. They're cooperating, which also that comes from Marco Rubio, right? Rubio's call with Sadani. It's like, what's going on? Why don't you know who's doing this? And then the guy from Apicur, who even though he's not in government, he represents a significant amount of oil money. So he has to say so. He said the same thing. He wants them punished severely and swiftly, right? So here's more about the June salaries, but this isn't the one that is so straightforward. Barzani, look, it says President Barzani. But who is that? That's Daddy Barzani, right? He's not really the president. His son is the president. But you see, that's how you know who's still running the country. Daddy Barzani is still running the country, even though he's just the head of one of their parties. And if I know that just from reading these articles, you don't think the citizens don't know that? Anyway, so yeah, look, that guy looks like he's asleep, huh? But anyway, there they are. And for them to be talking is a big deal. They didn't like each other They probably still don't like each other, but they see the world's moving at a pace where you have to put your little grumble mumbles aside. And if you want to move forward, you gotta get on board. This is the one. 2 conditions for 2 salaries combined. Implementation within 6 days. A time race to the end? Question mark. So the 2 conditions are delivery of 120 billion dinars of non-oil revenue. So Baghdad wants 2 types of money from the Kurds. They want oil money and non-oil money, right? And then the second is the delivery of 100,000 barrels of oil per day, but that's temporary. Remember, they shrunk it, decreased is a better word. They decreased the amount of barrels because of the damage from the phones, scones, tones, right? All right. And now look, an international organization warns of the repercussions. I'm like, what? It's this Human Rights Watch. I never heard of them. That's my phone. They warned on Tuesday because it's already Tuesday there. Yeah, they want to know the result of the aggression towards the oil fields. So wow, I'm like that. I don't know. It just threw me for a loop. Human Rights Watch, but you're watching oil. No people were hurt, just property was damaged. But so see, and even there was an article I was trying to get in French news, but it wouldn't translate. Even they were talking about it. There's an article on TradingView where they're talking about the oil. So yeah, the whole world's watching, right? So you could read that if you'd like. I think we're almost done. Additional deduction delays. I think they were going to try to take some taxes. 3%. Here, a 3% deduction from the total salary of the employees, even the retirees. So June has been sent. The payrolls for June has been sent. So hopefully within 6 days, they'll get paid. And then July, if not the same time, 2 days later. So here's another article, signs of a new rift between Baghdad and Erbil. But I'm not too, you could skip that. Well, for now, I would say you could skip that. I don't really think that's anything. And look at, there's our buddy. Look at his face. He's like, you tried to get me. This is Esmail Kaani, right? So now, since whoever leaked out that he was there in a secret meeting, now they have another article. They're calling him the Shadow Man. The Shadow Man's visit. Did Kaani meet with the framework leaders in Baghdad without the government's knowledge? No, I bet he did not. He flies there. And well, excuse me, usually he flies there. So maybe after escaping, what he escaped, maybe he doesn't fly there. I don't know. But so this is saying there were no indications of his visit, but I don't believe that. I think he was there. All right, so that's it. That's it. That's my phone. Thank you for listening, watching. Sorry, like I said, I would have liked to have been a little more animated and would have liked to have covered a little bit more, but it's late. And it'll be another 30 minutes before this gets uploaded. So Let's see what happens. It was only Monday. So let's see what the rest of the week brings us. I appreciate you. I'm inching closer to 3,000 subscribers. So my goal is if we're going to be here, I'm like, Lord, oh, oops. I try not to bring religion into this. But I'm like, by the time I hit 5,000 subscribers, I want this to be over. If if I even get to 5,000, right? Anyway, so yeah, so subscribe. It's free, right? And at 11 minutes and 11 seconds, a little icon pops up in the right-hand corner on YouTube, and you can tap that. I think you have to hit it twice. Then you're subscribed, and hit that thumbs up on your way out. That's free. Awesome. All right. So thank you. I appreciate you listening and the comments and the well wishes. And I know there's people that pray for me. I appreciate that also. Thank you. All right. So I'm not going to drag this out any further. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, thank you.